If you wake up tired, crash at 3 p.m., and no amount of coffee keeps you sharp, you are not lazy and you are not broken. You eat clean, you work out, you do everything right, but you still feel drained, foggy, and flat. Let me paint you a picture. It's 6:30 a.m. Your alarm goes off. You hit snooze once, twice, maybe 3 times. When you finally drag yourself out of bed, you already feel like you've run a marathon. You make a smoothie, greens, protein, all the good stuff. You check the boxes. You're doing what the experts say. But by 11 a.m., you're already yawning at your desk. Your eyes feel heavy. Your brain feels slow. You're wondering why the day already feels impossibly long. Then 3 p.m. hits like a freight train. You reach for another coffee, maybe a protein bar, a handful of almonds. You're hoping, praying for a second win. But instead, you crash harder. The fog thickens, your patience thins, and then comes 9 p.m. You're finally sitting down. The house is quiet. But now you're wired, but tired. Your body is exhausted, but your mind won't shut off. You scroll your phone because you can't fall asleep, even though you're desperate for rest. Sound familiar? This is not just stress. It's not just age. It's not even burnout. Not in the way most people think. This is your mitochondria. Hi, I'm AI Coach Fiona, your cellular health educator. And today, I'm going to break down mitochondria in a way that finally makes sense. Not medical jargon, not abstract theory. Real understanding that connects to your real life. By the end of this video, you'll know 3 things. First, what mitochondria actually do for your body, and why they matter more than you've ever been told. Second, the hidden signs that yours are burning out. Signs you've probably been dismissing or blaming on yourself. And third, how to start bringing them back online so you can fix your fatigue at the root, not just mask it with more caffeine. Let's start with the basics. Mitochondria are the tiny power plants inside every single cell in your body. You have hundreds, sometimes thousands, of them in each cell. Now, imagine your body as a giant bustling city. Every building in this city is a cell. Your heart cells, your brain cells, your muscle cells. And inside each building is a power plant. That's your mitochondria. Just like a city needs electricity to run lights, elevators, computers, and traffic signals. Your body needs energy to think, move, digest, repair, and simply exist. That energy comes in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Think of ATP as the currency of energy. It's the dollar bill your body spends on everything. Every heartbeat costs ATP. Every step you take costs ATP. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every breath you draw, it all spends ATP. No ATP, no function. Low ATP, low function. It's that simple and that serious. Now, how do mitochondria make ATP? Picture this. Inside each power plant is a massive assembly line. Fuel from your food, glucose, fats, even amino acids, enters the line. Oxygen from your breath comes in through a separate door. Workers, tiny molecular machines, pass buckets of fire down the conveyor belt. This fire is controlled. It's contained. It's purposeful. At the end of the line, that fire is packaged into neat little ATP packets. Think of them like rechargeable batteries. Your cells grab these ATP batteries and use them to power everything. When the conveyor belt runs smoothly, energy flows. The lights stay on. The machines hum. The city thrives. But when the assembly line is clogged, leaking, or understaffed, the lights flicker. The machines sputter. The city dims. That's when you feel exhausted, even though you did everything right. Here's something most people don't know. Something that blew my mind when I first learned it. Mitochondria have their own DNA, separate from the DNA in your cell's nucleus, and you only inherit mitochondrial DNA from your mother. That's right, your energy blueprint is literally passed down through your maternal line. If your mom struggled with chronic fatigue, migraines, or low stamina, you might be carrying some of that cellular history in your own power plants. If your grandmother powered through exhaustion her whole life, that pattern might live in your cells too. Now, before you think, great, I'm doomed, pause. DNA is not destiny. Because here's the beautiful truth. Lifestyle and daily choices influence how well your power plants work. You can inherit a weaker grid, but you can also upgrade it. Epigenetics, the science of how your environment talks to your genes, proves this every day. So even if you started with a dimmer baseline, you have the power to turn the lights back on. But first, you need to recognize when they're dimming. So how do you know your mitochondria are burning out? Look at your daily struggles. Really look. Brain fog, like someone turned down the brightness on your mind. You walk into a room and forget why. You read the same sentence 3 times and still don't absorb it. You're in a meeting, and you can't remember what you just said 2 minutes ago. Afternoon crashes, when your engines sputter halfway through the day. That 3 p.m. slump, isn't a personality flaw. It's a power outage. Your cells literally can't keep up with the energy demand. Exercise that feels harder than it should. You used to jog easily. Now every step feels like you're dragging through mud. You used to recover fast. Now soreness lingers for days. That's not age. That's weak mitochondria, struggling to keep up. And reliance on caffeine, because your own power grid isn't reliable anymore. You're not energized by coffee. You're propped up by it. The moment it wears off, you crash harder than before. You're running on borrowed energy, not generated energy. Think back to last Tuesday. You were in that Zoom meeting, presenting to your team. Halfway through, your mind went blank. You stammered. You fumbled. You felt embarrassed. That's not incompetence. That's your brain cells running on fumes. Or remember last Saturday morning? Your kids asked you to play outside. You wanted to say yes. You really did. But instead, you collapsed on the couch, scrolling your phone, feeling guilty. That's not laziness. That's your muscle cells begging for ATP they don't have. This is what dimming mitochondria look like in real life. Not abstract. Not theoretical. Tangible. Painful. Daily. Let me give you another way to think about it. Imagine running a modern, high-powered laptop on a dying battery. The screen is dim, even on full brightness. The performance lags. Programs freeze. Files won't save. You can't run the software you use to run effortlessly. That laptop isn't broken. The hardware is fine. But the battery can't deliver the power the system needs. That's you, trying to live a high-performance life on weak mitochondria. Or think about your Wi-Fi router at home. When the signal is strong, every device connects smoothly. Your laptop streams. Your phone loads instantly. Your smart TV doesn't buffer. But when the router is weak, every device lags. Every connection drops. It doesn't matter how good your laptop or phone is. The weak router bottlenecks everything. Your mitochondria are like your body's router. When they're strong, every system thrives. When they're weak, every system struggles, no matter how healthy your diet or how expensive your supplements. So why do these power plants break down in the first place? 3 main culprits. First, chronic stress and inflammation. This is like pollution in the city air. Smog clogs the machinery. Acid rain corrodes the wiring. The assembly line slows down. Workers get sick. Efficiency plummets. Inflammation from poor sleep, processed foods, chronic stress, and environmental toxins creates a hostile environment for your mitochondria. They can't function in a war zone. And your body, under constant stress, becomes exactly that, a cellular war zone. Second, lack of rest and repair windows. If you never give a factory downtime, the machines overheat and wear out. If workers never get breaks, they collapse at their stations. That's what happens when we eat constantly. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, dessert, late night snack. Our cells never get a break from digestion. Mitochondria never get a chance to shift into repair mode. It's like running your car engine 24/7 without ever stopping for an oil change. Eventually, the engine seizes. Third, toxins and natural aging. From pesticides on your food to plastics in your water bottles, from air pollution to personal care products, toxins accumulate. They gunk up the machinery. They damage the DNA inside your mitochondria. Add natural aging on top, the wear and tear of decades, and the damage compounds. It's like rust creeping into the wiring of your city's power grid. Left unchecked, the whole system corrodes from the inside out. Now picture your factory workers again. They've been running 24/7 for years. The air is thick with smog. The machines are rusted. No repair crew ever comes. No maintenance happens. The workers are exhausted, sick, barely holding on. Eventually, they collapse at their stations. That's what your mitochondria go through under chronic stress, constant eating, and toxic exposure. And this is why so many smart, driven women blame themselves. You try supplements, green juices, stricter diets, more workouts. You read the blogs. You follow the gurus. You do the cleanses. But if your power plants are failing at the cellular level, no surface level fix can restore your energy. It's like trying to fix a dying car battery by washing the exterior of the car. It might look better, but it still won't start. Here's the empowering truth. The truth that changes everything. Mitochondria aren't fixed in number. They aren't static. They aren't permanent. They can be repaired, rebooted, even multiplied. This process is called mitochondrial biogenesis. Literally, the creation of new power plants. Imagine upgrading your city's entire power grid. You don't just fix the flickering lights and patch the old wiring. You install brand new generators across the skyline. Solar panels, wind turbines, clean, efficient energy sources. Suddenly, the whole city lights up again. Brighter, stronger, more resilient than before. That's what happens inside your body when you support mitochondrial biogenesis. And here's where the metaphor meets your daily life. Think of your mitochondria like your smartphone battery. If you're always charging it, never letting it drain, the battery degrades faster. it loses capacity. It can't hold a charge. But if you give it cycles, full charge, then use, then rest, the battery lasts longer and performs better. Your cells need those cycles too. They need periods of challenge, exercise, fasting, even brief cold exposure, and they need periods of deep rest, sleep, relaxation, recovery. Challenge without rest, burnout. Rest without challenge, atrophy. The balance creates strength. Practically, supporting your mitochondria looks like this. Giving your cells downtime through fasting windows. Even a 12 to 16-hour overnight fast allows your mitochondria to shift from energy production to repair mode. It's like closing the factory for maintenance, so the workers can fix the machines. Reducing inflammation with anti-inflammatory foods and stress resets. Wild-caught fish, leafy greens, berries, turmeric, dark chocolate, and breathwork. Walking in nature. Saying no to things that drain you. This clears the smog from your cellular city, prioritizing deep sleep. Because mitochondria repair most at night. Sleep isn't rest, it's restoration. It's when your cellular cleanup crew comes in, removes waste, and rebuilds infrastructure. Skip sleep, and the damage accumulates faster than you can repair it. And moving your body, because exercise signals your cells to build more mitochondria. Not endless cardio that burns you out, but strategic movement. Interval training, strength work, even brisk walking. Exercise is stress, but it's good stress, the kind that makes you stronger. Every time you do this, it's like installing a fresh, efficient power plant in your city. One that runs cleaner, burns brighter, lasts longer. Think of it like switching from old, wasteful incandescent bulbs to modern LEDs. Less waste, more light, longer life, lower cost. Your upgraded mitochondria work the same way. More ATP output, less oxidative damage, longer cellular lifespan. And here's the most empowering reframe of all. You can train your mitochondria just like you train your muscles. Muscles don't grow from comfort. They grow from challenge, followed by rest. You lift weights. Muscles break down. You rest and eat. Muscles rebuild stronger. Mitochondria work the same way. Intermittent fasting? That's a mitochondrial workout. Interval training? Mitochondrial strength training. Cold exposure, like a cold shower or ice bath. That's advanced mitochondrial conditioning. These aren't punishments. They're not deprivation. They're strategic stressors that signal your cells. Build. Adapt. Get stronger. And your body listens. So here's what we've covered today. Mitochondria are the power plants inside every cell. You have hundreds to thousands of them. And their health decides your energy, your focus, your vitality. They make ATP, the currency of energy, through a controlled, intricate assembly line of fuel and oxygen. They struggle under chronic stress, inflammation, toxins, and lack of repair windows. And when they dim, you feel brain fog, crushing fatigue, exercise intolerance, and daily crashes. But, and this is the hope you need to hold on to, your body can repair and multiply them. With intermittent fasting, deep sleep, strategic movement, and lowering inflammation, you can literally rebuild your cellular power grid. Your fatigue isn't random. It isn't a character flaw. It isn't weakness or laziness or just getting older. It's your power plants begging for attention. And here's the most empowering truth of all. Small, daily choices compound at the cellular level. A 12-hour eating window, a 20-minute walk, 7 hours of sleep, a handful of berries instead of a pastry. These aren't heroic. They're not Instagrammable. But they rebuild your mitochondria, brick by cellular brick. And with the right habits, you don't just survive the day. You light it up. The moment you repair and multiply your mitochondria, you stop living in a rolling blackout. And you start living fully powered, sharp, energized, present. The version of yourself you've been chasing. And in the next video, we're diving deeper into ATP itself, the real energy currency your body runs on. So you'll finally understand the biochemistry behind why that 3 p.m. crash keeps haunting you, and exactly how to stop it. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Tell me, what's your biggest energy struggle right now? And if you're ready to rebuild your cellular power grid, hit subscribe, because we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.